Yeah, how's everybody doing? It's Wednesday the 2nd of December 2009 and it's in mid-afternoon and it's a lovely day here. It's the first day we've had in quite a while. It's mild and the sun's come out and hopefully things will improve for those people facing those floods here in Ireland. Anyway, I just want to talk about these two men. One is, everybody knows him because he's the President of the United States of America, Barack Obama, and really I'm going to use him as an introduction to another man that I'd say a lot of people don't know, but it doesn't matter, they probably do. Anyway, I think the second man is going to be at the core of what's going to happen in the world in the next year, 18 months. And the reason I say this is this man Barack Obama, he made several pre-election promises, but one of them was, there were pledges that he made to the American people, and one of them was that when he got elected, one of the very first things that he would do is he'd draw up a strategic withdrawal plan for American troops in both theatres of battle where they were open theatres of war where they were at the minute. That's in Iraq and Afghanistan. Okay, and anyway, we know yesterday what's going to happen. They're going to put between 30 and 35,000 troops are going to be sent from America, from the United States, into the theatre of war in Afghanistan. He made this announcement at West Point. This would have been a commissioning ceremony or something at West Point, and no better place to make it from his point of view, because they're the young officer corps that are going to have to look after these young men, young women that are going to give their lives, and many of them are. Anyway, they reckon that at the moment, every month from Obama came in, he has signed off on every single month between 2,000 and 3,000 troops, incremental numbers of troops that have gone to both Iraq and Afghanistan, but mostly Afghanistan. These would be specialist type of troops, engineers and that type of thing. Anyway, in other words, not necessarily just infantry now, but they reckon that with this latest tranche of troops, that's 35,000, they reckon by the new year, by February, March of next year, there will be in excess of 120,000 troops there, American troops, and on top of that there'll be all the NATO troops. So you can be talking about the best part of 200,000 troops there. This is in Afghanistan. So I had to think about it over the last while, and I've been thinking about it for quite some time. I didn't know he was going to make that, but I thought he would have. I thought he would make the commitment, because I was reading in the international press about him making the commitment for the little incremental increases, so I knew that they wouldn't be going on if he wasn't going to make a commitment over this bigger amount of troops. But anyway, really what we have is, in the White House, we've got a black film star who's just an agent for the elite, the real powers behind the throne, as it were, and he's carrying out their orders to a T, and I don't think we really expected any different, but it's just interesting to see it all come out to play. And there has to be a real reason behind all this, and it's certainly not Afghanistan. I mean, Afghanistan does not contain anything or anybody or anything that the Americans would want, or it's like Afghanistan, when I look at it, reminds me of the far side of the moon or somewhere like that, you know, that's what it looks like, or like Mars or somewhere like that. It's like, it's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable place. It's surreal. Anyway, I think to understand why they're in Afghanistan and what the purposes of it is, we have to go and find this other man. And this other man is Barack Obama's leading geostrategic thinker. And what that means is, he's the man that draws up the political thinking, the political strategy that tells the military strategists what to do. In other words, the military strategists don't just go in there to kill people, and there's a political purpose behind it. There's a reason, there's a raison d'etre for it. There's a normally what they call a macro purpose, a larger purpose for it. And in the case this is my contention, in the case of Afghanistan, I think it's Iran is the real reason. I don't think it's going to do with Pakistan. I don't think it's going to do with India. I think it's Iran. And before I go on, I'm going to post you up a photograph of this man. This man is a professor at Johns Hopkins University, and his name is ZBIGNIEW BRZEZINSKI. All right, and he used to be the strategic advisor, the foreign policy advisor to Jimmy Carter, the peanut farmer. And this man, on basically virtually on his own from a strategic point of view, set up the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. This man, virtually on his own, devised the master plan that brought about Osama bin Laden and all his acolytes. Okay, this man here, ZBIGNIEW BRZEZINSKI. I put a photograph up there for him, have a wee look at it, and I put a link to his bio, which is enormous. It's an enormous biography, but it's well worth looking at. Give you an insight into this man. And the only way I can describe this man is, if you could imagine a live version of Darth Vader, that's what this man is. This man is a live version, a human version of Darth Vader. He's got a mind like a razor. This man's in his early 80s, I think. He's got a mind like a razor, this man. When you read his books, you're just astounded by his arrogance and by his grasp of the whole American imperial plan, what America's about, and her role in the world, her macro role in the world. And he puts it all down in black and white. And I put another little link up there. You can have a look at the book. It's called The Grand Chessboard, and it was published at the time. I think it was published, well, oh, maybe it wasn't. The one I have is a later edition, but I think this might have been published earlier. This was published in the late 90s, the one I have, the version I have. And anyway, have a look at it there. I stuck it up there, you can have a look at it. I'm sure you can read reviews of it on the internet. But he is, I was going to say Osama bin Laden's, I don't know about that, he might be, but he's certainly Barack Obama's main geopolitical thinker in the world. Okay, so what he would be doing is he would be advising Obama and the likes of Hillary Clinton on what their attitude should be about various countries, but above all, he would have drawn up a master plan for the whole their interface in the Near East. All right, and what I've done is, I'm going to have to end this now, this little clip, and I'm going to move on to the next clip. I've stuck up a map, and we look at it. That's the first thing we look at in the opening clip. Put up a map of Iran and the surrounding area. All right, and I'll be back in a moment.